my name is Dalton Lima. I'm a game developer, and today I'm gonna cover a bit some previous projects I worked with, a pet project of mine called Undercooked. Let's check it out. So here, showing the GitHub page of it. I made a video some years ago. Uh, I'll leave the link for the video down below. It's a very simple video showcasing this project. And what's interesting in this project? I made it as a personal challenge because of a bunch of reasons. So, firstly, because I like the game, Undercooked. I like couch co-op games. It's very fun to play, great mechanics, and it looks a perfect game for me to challenge myself and see how do I build this, at least the basics of it. As most of you guys, I start working, following tutorials online to learn pieces of game development. But I would like to propose a way to get out of tutorial hell. So that's what Undercooked is. You can read more about it on the GitHub page. But most interestingly, I try to summarize the core mechanics over here of the game. If you're not familiar with the original Overcooked game, I just go make a analysis of the game and try to pick the essence of it and put at least on a vertical slice of a game. So we can pick and drop things, we can select objects, so very basic stuff. Raw ingredients can be picked from their crates. We can chop, we can cook, we can deliver things, plates, for instance, to the customers. We can, of course, move the character around and, of course, swap between two characters. That is a feature of the game. So you can control more than one player or avatar. And I try to recreate the mechanics of the movement. So try to get a very similar feel of how you move and dash the game as well. So there's the trash, the sink, and orders that clients put through for us there. Yeah, and just very basic UI that I pull at the end. So that's most of it. I received over the last few years some comments of people. Oh, can you teach us how to do that? So I never had the time to go in there, but I figure out maybe I can put a few videos going back and just try to understand what I did some years ago, and maybe I can probably can get some advices from the future, because that's the fun of programming. Most of the times when you get back, you notice that you learn a few things. Even 6 months is if you're learning and doing other stuff, you're probably gonna improve or at least change the way you do things, and that's the experience in the end, right? So yeah, some more interesting points about the project. That's more the technical thing. I was playing with asynchronous programming. Interfaces is a hot topic in there. Very important thing to use. Not if you don't have much practice. That's a good example of how to use interfaces. One way of it. I use pattern matching, some other specific stuffs, but you can get there later on. And over time, I've been updating Unity versions just to keep the project up to date. And I also use Cinemachine for some camera movements, some plugins, amazing plugins for helping me with UI and twinning some transitions. Yeah, and that's most of it. Also, I create all the assets in Maya, Photoshop, and Illustrator. I'm not an artist, or not professionally. I like to have fun in creating assets, models, but I don't do that in a lot of, at least in 3 years, I don't touch much of those tools. I try to focus more on programming nowadays. So I'll not go in deep into modeling programming, but I'm gonna, of course, we have our assets that's already on the project. So that's most of it. This is not intended to be very basic level project. There's a bunch of tutorials covering the basics, but we may go there, of course, from time to time. But you can go to the GitHub page of the project. You can come here, download a zip, or clone it. So I'll clone with SSH, a bit more secure than this, but very simple. I already cloned it here. I'm using here in GitKraken. So since I'm working alone, I have a single branch, um, especially for working with some other developments, which most of the case, it's nice to have branches sometimes to separate some developments. And here you can see most of the development happens in November 2020. So 3 years now, over 3 years now. That's nice. I did only very specific updates. A Unity version is what I'm gonna do today as well. So I'm gonna branch here. Let's create a branch just for fun. So I'm gonna call update / Unity. So using slash here, it's nice because it creates folders. So update, I have a subfolder here called Unity, just because. So this is a local branch now, and I can start opening it in Unity. So the current version right now, this is the project, by the way. You can check in Unity projects inside this project settings. This text file here contains the current version being used. So I'm in the 2021 version, .3. So .3 is the LTS version. That means the long-term support. So it's nice to try to keep in LTS versions whenever possible, especially if it's like say a release product. So I try to, at first, I'll try to only update to the latest 2021.3. So I think it's nice to go in steps. So I didn't have to do anything, basically. I just opened, fiddle a bit, and it's working. No major errors. I just plugged my Xbox controller here, my Minecraft version. So let's hit play and see how it works. Just make it screen maybe bigger. Yes, and like this, that's okay. So press start to play, and that's it. So I use Cinemachine to do that camera transition just for fun. And that's it. Orders are come, I can pick ingredients. Yeah, as I remember. I can swap players. So I can keep this one down here. While it's cooking, I can pick more stuff. Put here. Switch back. Put this here. So that's the gameplay itself, right? Now let's make one recipe. No, I don't need this. Just finish this. One more of this. This guy can put this in there. I have so, as you can see, I have fun with this kind of game. This first game is very it's punishing if you're playing with two players, or not punish, but it doesn't adapt. As this Overcooked 2, it's much more polished, but when you play solo and with it has a better balance in the game, so it understands, oh, you're playing alone, so you don't have, it's hard to control the game with a single player, so it adds time into the processes. So but I like this game. It doesn't change anything when you're playing solo or multiplayer, so it's, I don't know, I have some fun in this challenge. So yeah, and I can deliver some animations here, some particle effects, and that's it. Very basic stuff. You can we can throw things away here. Same effect as the original one. Food can burn. We can check this later. The time is running up, but that's most of it. So working. Since this working, I think it's okay for us to straight away try to commit what we did here. So let's see what's. So as you can see here, that's project is changed. Very standard. So settings. whatever it does with this. Computer settings, okay. Okay, sounds good. Manifest file, that's interesting to comment if you're not familiar. That's a simple file that lives in packages that states which dependencies you have here and which version we are using. Some projects you can do this straight from GitHub. An interesting file that's auto-generated but you should commit still is this one. So this one is interesting because it's kind of derived from the manifest one. And the interesting factor here is it shows the tree of dependency and where that thing is used. So yeah, let's commit this too, and that's it. So let's put just a simple message: update unity 2021.3.33f1. Sometimes I like to be specific from the previous one. It's not necessary. Maybe not. Let's keep it simple. If you need to see that, you can go into the commit itself and check that out, right? That's enough. Yeah, push this here, and then we can open a PR for master. Since I'm the owner of the repo, you could do straight away for master, but that could be a fun exercise. Even sometimes when you're working alone, you can have PRs for yourself, or that's a good, if you never did a PR, that's a good way to start one. So I can go into the here in the GitHub and say, oh, you have a push 3 seconds ago. Very nice. So I can, from here, very handy, I can start a PR for myself. So I want to, this is where the branch that we want to merge, and the arrow says I want to merge this into master. Of course, you can change it here. So it's okay to merge. At least there's no conflicts. By the way, if you need to go Git, and GitHub is a very basic, important, or code versioning systems are important. Not just Git, we have Perforce in the game industry, but any of those, Git's the most popular nowadays. So it's a good to have a grasp of it. So if not, you go in there. Sometimes it's nice to write good description PRs when working team, but this is very simple, so there's no need. Yeah. We can create a draft, which is nice to do sometimes, just to see the CI going on. CI is just how sometimes we refer the continuous integration, or can create straight away pull request. What I'll do in this case, again, just rate merge, so nothing special. But I merged it. I can delete the branch, or I can set to delete automatically if I want, but I'm not do that. I'm gonna delete from here. So that's it. As you can see here, this branch is gonna be deleted. Only gonna have the local version of it, but master, as you can see here, was merged here, boop, and I can check out master here, and now we have the newest version. So yeah, that's how I do a basic PR. So very simple. I'm gonna open in the latest 2022 now. How can I do that? Let's see. 2022.3.16 is the last one. Silicon, I think that's it, most likely. So let's open. Yeah, we get the same message. 21 to 22, not matching. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. This is a big one. We may have some more substantial changes. Yeah, let's see. Start from beginning, 2022. URP materials upgrade. So unit render pipeline. Materials change something, how it works. So okay, let's do it. Import my materials again. Shader graph. I use the shader graph to make some of the shaders, like this. Let's go to the scene here. Let's see. Oops, too much. So yeah, for this pattern to move here. I use some shader graphs. It's interesting. Also, there's some very interesting effects here on the fire. I even don't remember how I did it in details, but yeah, very cool effects. The dancing flames, yeah, really cool. Again, not an expert in that, but still fun to just to do it sometimes. Yeah, I have a bunch of warnings here, but has one warning. Is there's a new version of this node. I think, I don't know, maybe because they updated. I don't know. Like just clear and let's see what persists. Can I play the game? Let's give it a go. Let's see if it works. Yes, surprisingly, yes, it works. Great. Let's check a bit what has changed here. So there's a bunch of things here. So as we spec some materials, the basics. Let's check the packages as well. Sometimes we can go a bit further. There's Cinemachine 295. What's the latest in there? So let's check it out. 297. So since it's a patch here, so the latest number here, so it should be very okay. If this is version 3 or 4, then it's a big change. Probably we don't want to go straight away, but keep things simple. But this seems okay to go. Let's do it. So everything is green. It's nice, but sometimes you don't need to get everything green here. Sometimes most of the time that's not the way to go. But if you can go, why not? Sometimes, especially like I mentioned, very minor things should be okay. So yeah, these are the things that are being updated here. So let's stage that. Package change song. This file got removed. Okay. Settings, put builder again. Updating this okay. Shader graph. They add this variant limit here. And the version here, URP project settings. So what the latest? Now it was 5, now it's 7. So it's nice sometimes to just get a brief look what's changed. Let's see if everything makes sense. Here's some scriptable object, some settings about the URP settings. So they introduced new things here. Okay, just the default values, nothing fancy. And that's just materials update. So let's stage this. More URP things. So looks good. A bunch of materials, tiles, all the fancy. This theme, the map, the players in itself, dust when you run. So yeah, there's a bunch of materials for particles. Yeah, let's add all of it. I'm gonna do one by one here. Why not? The folder for the player. I think that's a good thing to go when you have updates like this. Don't go blind and add everything. It's nice to at least check if everything makes sense. But sometimes you don't want to pollute your commit with unnecessary things. Of course, you can do later, right? If you have extra things. But right now, I want to do the basic minimal. It's a bunch of materials. Wow. Appliances. Yeah, so Pro Builder looks okay. Yeah, that's it. Update Unity 2022.3.16f1. Let's commit. And this is local. This is my master on the internet, on the remote as we call. So when I push, remote is gonna catch up with my local one here. Just, I know if it's based for you, but sometimes it could be helpful for others. So yeah, 2022 is up there. So right now I'm gonna remove this package here, daltonlima.core. So it's my kind of demo package that I use here, just to see how it works. So let's see, but in the end, it doesn't add much value to the game. So I decided to remove it for simplicity, because I even have one person on the repository here complaining, oh, that this doesn't resolve anymore. So I didn't go into that. So maybe something about my domain that I need to solve, but it's okay. This is relying on GitHub still, so it should work. It's working for me. So, but still, for simplicity, the project I'm gonna remove. So I could remove this line, and Unity will do that for me. Or the way you could do normally, you can do this inside the package manager. So you go into your package and select remove. And what this will do, it will remove the singleton file from the package. And by the way, where's that file? So let's go there. I can type it here. Singleton. So yes. So this is the, I'm gonna copy this file here, and before removing, so I can, so I click remove, and now there's two places they're complaining, game manager, two files basically, and menu panel UI. So we can go and see, okay, we don't have this file anymore because I removed the package. So what I'm gonna do in Undercooked project, let's go here. We have this scripts folder, and I'm gonna use utils for now, so it should be okay. Let's create a new file called, a new class called singleton, not all caps. Okay, we're gonna paste in here, just the namespace undercooked.utils. So if you notice, at least I'm using a namespace in this project, so that's a very important thing to do, I think. So every folder has its undercooked.ui, so you get some interesting separation. Of course, it's just one way to organize. There are multiple ways you can organize your files. Even this utils is not the best one, but should be okay for this sample project. So now singleton is there, and now we don't have the problems here anymore. So it's hopefully it's compiling. Let's save these two files in here. Okay. So let's check in Unity, no errors, just some warnings for now. So it should be okay. Does the game runs? Let's see. Surely enough, it runs. Great. So yeah, singleton and meta file, good to go. So here we remove the, as you can see, package manager removed that thing. Automatically it adds the undercooked utils because it uses singleton from a different place now. Game manager did the same thing, removed this and added utils here, and that's it. I can say here, remove it, clone.daltonlima.core package. Is that the name? daltonlima.core. daltonlima.core package. Move it, this singleton class, into the project. So some more description into the details of here. So I think you can commit this and push. And with that, I probably can answer this, close this ticket here probably. But yeah. Yeah, that's it for today. I think keep those videos. Let's try to keep it short. I'm doing this unscripted, so I try to have a goal in mind, and I go doing this together in video. So could be interesting experience for people who want to see how the project works. So we can do some fixes here and there to polish the project a bit more. Since it seems to be an interesting project that people are liking and enjoying, could be some source of study. And yeah, this is it for today. Thank you very much. See you next time.